got some things for you guys to sip on. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this sip.
So what's going on, AJ?
I wanted to talk about Dawn Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm not laughing at Dawn. You guys know she was the lead singer of En Vogue. And she came on live. She did a little episode of, she was talking about how she's been homeless and living in her car for 3 years.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted because I'm like, what? That voice been living in a car for 3 years? Like, even if you're not on En Vogue anymore, she's not singing anymore?
I don't know. It's a lot missing from that story. But 2025 has been hell on our black artists.
But you know a little bit of her background, though.
Well, yeah, she was the lead singer of En Vogue. She was in the group Lucy Pearl with Raphael Sadiq and Ali Shaheed. That was after En Vogue. They had a couple of hit records out there, and I think she went solo. I might be mistaken, but she has made her mark in the music industry. And 2025, like I said, it's been rough on our black celebrities and artists or whatnot. They dying, and then she come out talking about she'd been homeless for 3 years. When I first saw that, I thought it was clickbait.
I kind of was wondering, like, is she for real?
Yeah, it was for real. She for real.
Homegirl had pipes. Like, she have pipes. En Vogue, that was really a hard group. What years was that? The 90s?
That was Hold On came out about the summer '89. Yeah. So it's been a while, but still, I don't know. It just go to show you, Angie Stone just died, but prior to her dying, she came on, did a couple of videos talking about where's her money. These record companies, they vulture. So, that's across the board. I guess we've known that for years, and I guess that applies to Dawn Robinson as well.
I don't know. Jermaine Dupri came out too, and he did a video because I guess he saw her video. So he came out, and during her video, she said she was talking to her assistant. Okay, so Jermaine Dupri was like, "How are you homeless and you're talking to an assistant? Like, who? You have to have money to have an assistant." So I don't know. I kind of took it like, well, maybe she talked to her former assistant, and that's just what she calls her assistant. That doesn't mean she's not homeless. And Jermaine Dupri, is he rich? Like, he rich, right?
Like,
why you count her money? She literally living in her car.
These days, we don't know who got what. You know what I mean? Because we assume that I assumed that she was doing okay.
Yeah.
And come to find out, she homeless. Now there are a couple theories that she hard to work with. That's one of the things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, people saying, well, maybe she's mentally ill.
Being hard to work with don't really put you in your car for 3 years.
Well,
she didn't they have a lot of hits involved?
They had a few. They wasn't the Supremes, but they was hot. And, they still touring, so they still getting income. So, there's something missing with this story, And she talked about how she lived with her mom for a while, and that didn't work out. Right. And then she lived with somebody who was managing her.
Right. So
that didn't work out.
Right. So she was saying how the manager, that her former manager, invited her to come out to California. Right. And told her he had space for her to live with him, until she got herself together. She said she got to California, and then he ended up not having the space, and I guess she was crowded, so he put her up in a hotel for 8 months.
Did she say it was a $3,000 a week?
She said it was a lot.
It was a lot of money.
She said she was looking for a apartment, but he kept turning these apartments down, and she was thinking, well, wouldn't it be cheaper to get me an apartment than pay for these hotel stays? And I was thinking, well, maybe if he wanted to have a little control over her, then of course I'm gonna pay for the hotels, because if I get you an apartment, now you're good. Now you living somewhere. But this can, so maybe he didn't want to pay for an apartment or give her the deposit for an apartment. But what about you, a manager? Find her some gigs, because homegirl can sing.
Something not adding up. Something's not adding up. You can't get back with your girls, the En Vogue girls, because I mean they tour, and they tour extensively and have been for a long time.
I wonder, why did she leave them? Because she hard to work with.
Back then they were saying she was hard to work with. She got a big ego. They call her a diva. It was the same thing with when she broke up with Lucy Pearl. It was big ego. She a diva. The truth. That's just one side of it. I'm sure there's another side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. But she's the common denominator.
I guess so. Right? But she might have got lucky, because I read yesterday that her ex-husband offered her a job. Now, I don't know what kind of job it was. It doesn't say, what job it is and when she can get started. But, he offered her a job so she can work and get out her car. She literally videoed from her car. So that just made me feel like maybe she living in her car right at the moment. But honestly, she didn't ask for anything. She was just telling a story. She wasn't begging for help or asking for anything.
Well, I mean, it's Dawn Robinson. So you get on YouTube and you giving, you sharing what's going on with you. People gonna reach out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That just comes with the territory. But something's wrong, because she's the common denominator. And let me back up a second. I watched the video, and the way she talked about living in her car for 3 years. She talked about it like it was adventurous or something.
Yeah, it was a story that it was like she wanted to share her
not trying to garner any sympathy, but hey guys, this is quite an adventure. People, they doing this, living in RVs and so on and so forth. And so that kind of threw me off. As well. But
I don't think she had money, because if her former manager was paying for her to live in the hotel until she found a place, I'm going to say she didn't have no money. Not that she was just on an adventure, but maybe it ended up being an adventure, but she didn't have the money, because she couldn't even pay for her own hotel room. She got on the road and came to live with her manager because she had no place to go.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
So I don't know. The story is bizarre. It really is, because it ain't like, it's like, is she on drugs? I mean, what? And she don't look like it. I mean, she's still a nice looking woman. She still can sing. Her contemporaries are still out here touring. You know what I mean? Yeah. People will still go pay to see her. And
it seemed like you would humble yourself. Like, if you got homegirls that's still singing and they touring. And it seemed like you would be like, hey, can I hit the stage with y'all? Because I'm sure people would be happy to see, oh, that's Dawn Robinson. She sung with them. She here. People would probably buy some extra tickets because she came back. You know what I mean?
And now that story went viral, now it's really time for her to strike, because people are rooting for her.
Well, somebody said Tyler Perry gonna call her up and put her in some movie.
Yeah, he might.
Because she sing, and he liked those musicals for sure.
So Tyler to the rescue, hook the girl up.
Hook her up. So
that's a bizarre story. That story is fluid and is changing by the day. Guess we're gonna stay tuned to see what develops. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of Dawn Robinson. I'm rooting for her.
Yeah.
I
hope she comes
out. She get it together.
Yeah.
But that just go to show you, just because you are a celebrity and famous, that don't mean that you got your money together. They still have human problems, right? Still have regular folks problems.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see.
Right. It's not a sad story because she came out. I'm sure she's gonna get help too, and I'm looking forward to her next album drop because homegirl, like I said, she did have some pipes.
Yeah.
But the next thing I want y'all to sip on this, okay? So former NFL player Le'Veon Bell. So it came out that he had to pay $25 million
to
his cousin because he's a molester.
Oh man. So I guess she sued him. He didn't, so she won by default.
Was he a good player?
Yeah, he had a good run, and then
was he first string?
Yeah, he was a second round pick of the was it Pittsburgh Steelers in 2013, and he was all pro a couple years, made a couple of Pro Bowls, signed a couple of big contracts. He was the man for a minute, and then he hit a wall and it went south or whatnot. But so his side of the story is that when he was making all that money, he was taking care of his family, the cousin included, that accused him of the molestation. And he's saying when the money dried up, then he started having problems.
I'm going to tell on you.
I guess.
Okay, so my thing is, because I get that. Like when the money, that's what happened to R. Kelly. So the money dried up and, everybody came out and want to tell their story on R. Kelly after he wasn't paying no more. So I do get that part of it. But, that's why people sue, like civil suits. They want money. So if you're taking care of me, okay, I guess you're paying me hush money. But if you're not paying me, I might as well tell my story. It literally said that he was molesting this kid since she was 6 years old, and she's 18 now.
So let's just put this out here. That's allegedly. Nothing's been proven.
Well, did he pay the money?
Pay what money?
He got ordered to pay her $25 million.
So the way that works is she won the case by default because he didn't show up to court.
Right. So somebody talking about you molesting them and you not coming to court.
He said he didn't get served the papers. The and I'm not taking up for him. These are the facts. The case was in Ohio. He don't live in Ohio. He was in Florida somewhere. He didn't get served the papers, so he didn't know where to show up and when to show up. And she won the $25 million by default.
So if somebody accused you of molestation, or that person obviously had a lawyer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So nobody is contacting this man saying that she even filed this against him?
We don't know. We don't know.
Even a summons to come to court, but just somebody has filed a complaint against you.
Okay.
You don't know that somebody filed a molestation complaint against
you? We don't know. And so, since you put it that way, I got questions. Then why didn't you go to the police instead of going to filing a civil lawsuit to get some bread?
Because that's what a lot of people do that.
Okay, why you didn't go to the police? This man been violating you since you was a little girl, and instead of putting him in jail, you want to get the bread.
Well, I believe that there's some sort of statute of limitation. They said it started when she was 6 years old. I mean, at the end of the day, black families sometimes keep secrets, especially when a bag is involved. They're going to be quiet. Probably was telling her, chill out, because he playing and making all this money. Like you said, he was a good player, so he probably got, some heck of a contracts, to play. So he literally taking care of his family. The grandma probably was like, girl, you're lying. you know what we do to our kids. Like, we don't believe our kids when they saying something is happening to them, especially when it's being like somebody is stopping fruit from growing on our trees.
Well, I don't know when the molestation stopped, what the statute of limitations for that type of crime is in Ohio, so I can't speak to that, but it's just, and I agree with you, and I'm not taking sides. It's just so much that we don't know, and if he was violating this baby or this girl, how old is she now?
She was a baby when it started. Right. She was 6. I believe she 18 now.
She 18 now?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's good grief. It's sad.
It's sad.
If it happened.
Right, and then to just be ordered to pay $25 million.
And he ain't got that. She'll never see it. She'll never see $25 million. Mm-hmm. Just because the judge order you to pay, or there's a $25 million judgment, that don't mean you're going to see that money.
It just seems like it's such high stakes. Like the price was so high. It's hard for me to believe he had no idea that was happening behind the scenes, because it's really $25 million. That ain't no chump change.
It's possible to get served papers where you're supposed to get served the papers and not get them. It happens every day. So that's not beyond the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? However, to your point, how you not know that?
Right. That this girl case is out. This case is happening.
That's pretty serious. Right. Molestation since you were a baby.
6.
That's pretty serious.
I just don't know who makes that up. I mean, it's people that make stuff up, because look at what happened to Jay-Z. I know. I feel like in my heart that was a lie. The girl came out like Jay-Z raped him, but she did come out and recant that she said he was like in the vicinity, but he didn't do anything. He didn't have anything to do with it.
But at first, when she said he did it, and her chest was out.
Her chest was out.
You know what I mean? So,
but even her dad said he can't recall, because she said her dad picked her up. And how was she like 13 or 14 that you done went to this party, this after party or something? How'd you get in? And the dad is saying he picked her up, but he just really don't recall something like that happening. Her own dad.
It's just when there's money involved, it's just hard to know if we have a real victim here, or if we have an individual that's motivated by money.
Right.
It's the line is so thin.
Yeah, and then to me, the Jay-Z thing, this was like a little weird little girl or something. She had some type of...
This girl might be weird. We don't know.
Disability. But this
is
a family member, which it's just some fine lines with this. You know what I mean? Because this is not a stranger that's trying to get the bag, like a stranger on the street. Like, I see my opportunity. Let me get the bag. Let me lie on this man because I was at the same party he was at. You know what I mean? And try to get some money. This is literally a family member who has came out and said she been molested since she was 6. And how do we just discredit it when she was awarded the money?
Because it was default. It was nothing proven in court. She won by default, not by the preponderance of the evidence. That's not what happened. It's not saying that it didn't happen.
It's like,
I'm just saying.
Did he ignore it thinking it was going to go away?
Who knows? But right now, we don't have enough information to take sides. We don't. All we know is the judge ruled he owed her $25 million. And he didn't show up to court, so she won by default. We haven't seen no evidence.
Well, I would say this. If anybody knows, get any more information on this, because I'm interested to see where this goes. Because if it is a lie or something, I'm sure he gonna fight back or come back, maybe try to appeal it or anything like that. If you guys find out any information on this, we are very interested to know. Send me an email to ajfoodie@livelovelaughthepodcast.com. Send me some links or send me some information. What do you know? We wanna share that tea, okay? After that, we need you to sip on this one.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Now this one is so crazy, y'all. This one is so crazy. So I know you guys heard about the
Lil
rapper,
Ronnie.
right? What was his name?
Lil Ronnie.
Lil Ronnie. He at the car wash with his 5-year-old daughter, and he get what they call it murked at the car wash.
Him and his baby.
Right. So they killed his 5-year-old baby, and the mother have 2 videos circulating right now. You see, I had to take a pause and shake my head a little bit. And I really don't like to assume like how people grieve.
Right. And you got a lot of people, if you've seen these videos, you know, some people like where you can't tell people how to grieve. People grieve differently.
We're going to show y'all the videos.
But in my opinion and estimation, it was over the top and ridiculous to see this mom of this recently unalive kid acting ratchet.
Right. So she, on one video, she, they got bottles. She talking about how everybody gotta die. She not mad that her baby dead. She just mad at how it happened, and she gonna make sure her baby gonna get buried in Gucci, and she gonna have everything, and the daddy gonna be so proud. How she gonna bury her baby. They literally having a party. They getting having
drunk,
a party.
Getting
She
high.
talking about everybody died. She ain't mad. We all gotta go sometime. Her baby was 5 years old.
5 years old.
So that is disturbing to some mothers and fathers out there that, have a child,
It's
young
disgusting.
baby. It really is.
It was disgusting to watch that video. It was disgusting to watch that woman carry on like that. Her and her ratchet A friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really disgusting. And it's just like today in our community, anything and everything goes. And too many people support this kind of behavior.
They do. It's because it's a bunch of people around her. Like, I don't know that I could party with my friend like that. Like, I can't party with you. She got stacks of money.
The other video, she got the stack of money up to her ear.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like a whole thug.
It's hard to have any sympathy for her.
And how did they say the dad died? Like, why were the people after him?
So there are several things. The most prominent one was he robbed the cartel or robbed the dice game of $40,000. And if this is true, we don't know if it's true or not. This is, these are allegations. If it's true, why are you rolling around with your baby in the car?
You literally rolling around after you robbing people.
Like everything's sweet.
And then the mama like, he gonna be proud. He gonna
Proud
be
of what? He dead.
He's gonna be proud that they're burying the baby in Gucci.
Yeah.
After he going around robbing people.
We crazy.
Yeah.
Your cousin's crazy.
You always talking about my cousins.
They your cousins.
But I don't know about that. I think they your cousins.
No, they ain't my cousins. You claim these folks.
It's very dysfunctional and disheartening that, and like I said, I don't really like to say how people grieve, because we all grieve in different ways. Some people don't cry, so you might go to court, somebody in court, they getting ready to get sentenced or something, they did something wrong, they might feel awful, but they not crying or they just looking, and it'll be reports like they had no remorse, like they didn't care, you know what I mean? But we don't know what really goes on inside of people's minds. But when you out here partying like that after your 5-year-old just literally got gunned down, and you holding stacks of money up to your ear like, the baby gonna be in Gucci, and what?
Now we do know there are subsets of our culture where they celebrate after a funeral. They do this in New Orleans where somebody passed. They celebrate with parades and dance and song. But that's not what this was. That's not what this mom and her friends was doing. This was just ratchet, debaucherous behavior.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And younger people can look at this And it's almost like they normalizing the death of this 5-year-old. She was 5 years old.
I just don't understand how her friends are with her, like, just
because they're a bunch of ratchets too.
Right. So to me, in my mind, and I don't know, beat me up, I don't care. To me, it was like the baby didn't stand a chance in life anyway. So maybe God made a decision.
You know, a lot of people are saying that because this mom didn't seem to be, I don't know, I guess we got this idea of what a mom's supposed to be, and this woman wasn't that. It was almost like a load been lifted off her shoulder.
Right. Yeah, she was
happy. She was relieved that she don't have to be responsible for this child anymore. I could be reading, you know, something into it that don't exist, but that's how it appears.
Yeah, right. That's how I felt about it. Like, you know, it was a feeling. Like, you know, the whole burial thing might be this my last thing that I got to do as a parent is bury my child, and then I'm done. I'm good.
I don't know. We gotta do better, folks.
Yeah, we got. I mean, and if this the parent that the kid was gonna be stuck with, how she's behaving. I mean, what they say, we listen but we don't judge. But hey, I was listening to that and I was like, come on now, give me a break.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
She didn't stand a chance between mama and between daddy and the way this mama is acting.
Robbing dice games.
Or running off on the plug or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? And mama is a whole ratchet, you know what I mean?
And the way she acts is like how a man acts. She acting I never, listen, before I seen the video with her holding money up to her ear, now I have seen little kids, like little girls going to prom and somebody give them a stack of money to take a picture with, but most of the time, I mean, women doing that, hold money and thugging out, that don't usually happen. If it happened, like I said, send me some videos, y'all. Email me the videos at AJFoodie@livelovelaughthepodcast.com, because I mean, I don't usually see things like that, but we're looking for differences. Well, you know,
we starting to see that kind of behavior coming from women more and more. They you know, more and more these women, you know, they becoming more and more masculine, and it just looked like with her, to me, you could interpret what she did as my baby dead, but it's all right now because I got all this money.
Is it pain? I mean, the way she was acting, I can't imagine that's insurance money.
That wasn't no insurance money.
Right, they got spaghetti dinners.
That wasn't spaghetti dinner money. That was, well, I don't want to say, but that wasn't spaghetti dinner money. That wasn't no insurance money. And that wasn't no GoFundMe money.
That's what
that
I'm
was
saying.
Money from the street from her. I saw she either got a brother or somebody that sent to the street, and
so it was like stuff happened on all ends.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I hope to never see nothing like that again.
Yeah, it was the most dysfunctional thing I ever saw in my life. Man. So I don't know if you guys seen the video. We're gonna show you guys the video. It's crazy,
you can
but
judge
tell
for
us,
yourself.
Yeah, tell us what you think. Are we being too hard on homegirl?
Like too bougie, or you know,
tell us, because I mean, if we being too hard on that behavior, tell us what y'all think so we can lighten up the load a little bit. But you know, and then I don't know
either. It's no words.
It's
for
no
that.
words.
Yeah.
It's no words. I don't think y'all gonna have words after y'all see it, but put a comment in the thread. Comment on the videos. Comment on the sip on this, so that we can know is this what you guys want to hear about or not. But it's some serious stuff that I want to talk about. I want you guys to sip on this. So Trump apparently got ordered by a judge to rehire all the people that he just fired.
Well, not all the people. So it said the judge ordered him to rehire the people that were on probation.
Right, because they was fired illegally. Because they were saying that their production, the way that they were working, it wasn't acceptable. So, when you're on probation, if you're not doing your job correctly, you'll lose your job.
Well, the judge ordered him to do that, but we're going to see if he do it, because Trump tends to do his own thing.
I mean, he have to do what the judge said, though.
Since when? When?
What order didn't he listen to from the judge?
What the judge going to do? So if Trump don't do what the judge say, what you think that judge going to do?
I mean, what can the judge do?
That's my point.
But don't he have to listen to the judge?
Trump done proven he ain't got to do nothing. He do what he want to do.
And then I thought so. And then they were saying that the post office wasn't affected by this government takeover. And now it's saying like 10,000 people is losing their job.
They planning on laying off 10,000 postal workers. So
right, and they were saying that the post office was not even on the table.
Well, initially,
right.
But so what this shows is this situation is fluid. It's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As time move on, they're gonna do what they want to do. So we should not be moving forward. We shouldn't be surprised by anything that this administration does. Mm-hmm. And as they're showing, nobody's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's safe, and they don't care about nobody. They got a goal in mind, and they just going to achieve it by any means necessary. So
right. I mean, and then also we live in Michigan, so these tariffs is making people a little scared because they saying how Canada give us some of their energy.
Yeah, we get it's 3 states: Michigan, Minnesota, and I believe Ohio, that they supply electricity to.
Mm-hmm.
And so Canada have threatened to cut us off.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
They said they're going to raise the bill.
They're going to raise the rates.
Like 25% higher. And I don't know about y'all, but my bills, my DTE is already like, would it be like $600, $700 a month?
So another 25%. Now we talking $800-900 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I don't know, but I mean, to me, it's so. I guess it's a double-edged sword to me, right? So I don't think people really look into, the backstory. So one of my questions is, what were we doing before Clinton got energy or signed whatever deal he signed to allow Canada to share energy with us? Because we had our own energy before they came in and helped, right?
Well, I mean, we still supply our own energy, but when he pushed the NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, back in the 90s, what he was trying to do was just open it up. Well, at least that's what they told us. Trying to open it up so that all of North America, being the United States, Mexico, and Canada, could participate, and we can trade goods and services with each other. Mm-hmm. That's what that was for. So a lot of the things that we manufactured or the services that we did internally, well, they farmed it out. Mm-hmm. So you started seeing car manufacturers building open plants in Mexico and Canada. Mm-hmm. So they made cars in both of these countries. The electricity part of the grid went to Canada, so on and so forth. That was the genesis of it back then. Okay. And so now Trump or the administration, what they want to do is bring a lot of that stuff back into the United States.
Right.
And so that's why he's slapping on these tariffs. Mm-hmm. And it's going to part of the intention is to force some of these car manufacturers back home.
Right.
We start supplying our own electricity again, oil to a certain extent. a lot of the farm services, wheat and things like that, want to bring it back into the United States. Right. But that's going to hurt in the beginning.
It is, and that's what I think, like, some people don't understand. So I'm definitely not a Trump supporter you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, go Trump. But I don't think that people understand what's really going on. So at the end of the day, all of these things that we get from other people and pay for, some of the stuff that they get from us, they don't pay for it. So they don't have tariffs. Like, we had liquor. They were taking all of the liquor imported from the U.S. and Canada. They was removing it from the shelves, right? We send them liquor. They don't pay tariffs on that at all. But everything that they send to us, we pay tariffs on that. Right.
Or we pay to be able to sell our goods, our liquor in their country, but they don't have to pay to sell their stuff here. Right. So they're trying to balance that out. Right.
And it seems like it's hard in the beginning. And that's what happened in politics. Every president is dealing with the previous administration or previous administration from years before, like way down the line. So right now, everybody is mad at Trump because, it's causing problems. People's losing their jobs. He got to shrink the government.
Groceries are sky high.
Right. And the fact that we depend on other countries for energy is kind of crazy to me, that we depending on Canada to dictate how much we pay for energy when we didn't have to do that before that trade agreement took place. Exactly. So, and when it took place, people were happy that happened. You know what I mean? But then think about all our jobs. A lot of the jobs got outsourced.
Yeah, a lot of jobs got exported to these other countries.
Right, so people lost their jobs. So I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. We're dealing with a lot right now with this administration, and only the strongest gonna survive.
Yeah, but we've been here before, and if you know what I'm talking about, we've been here before.
Right.
And we'll make it through.
And I think that, African Americans, we are very resilient because we've been without for a lot, and a lot of people that voted for Trump, they didn't know that what's happening now would affect them. Right. So now they so stressed out, and everybody on the news, whenever somebody lose their job, they like, oh, he the worst.
But he told them
voted, right?
But he told them what he was going to do.
Right.
So
he definitely told them that whole Project 2025 that he said he didn't have nothing to do with. He said, what? I didn't know what that was about. I haven't seen it.
Well, he putting it down.
He definitely putting it down.
So stay tuned, everybody.
Right. All right. Well, you guys sipped on that. Sip on this. We're getting ready to wrap things up, but we have, this is Live, Love, Laugh, the podcast. So we got some stuff for you guys to laugh at coming up. Stay on just a little while longer. We want to keep your attention just a little.